This is us taking off here from the San Antonio airport. It should be mentioned that I do not like to fly at all. Makes me very uncomfortable being trapped in a metal tube thousands of feet above the ground with other people I do not know while someone else is in control. So you'll understand. Anyways, landed just fine up in Montana, no issues. And you can see there's my brothers and my sister. It was quite a long drive all the way into town. It's about a couple hours. So, yeah. And then the next day is where things finally got interesting. So, we stayed with my grandma up in Wyoming, and this is her yard. And my cousins here brought some interesting games I've never really seen before. I can't even remember what they're called at this point, but they were fun. I would probably play these again if I ever had the chance. Definitely would purchase them for myself. Excuse me, I'm getting over a little something. Moving on. The next day, I decided to take a walk down the park where I used to hang out all the time when I was growing up. This is the real smaller park in town. There's a much bigger park called Homesteader Park. Big hills, a pool, all that stuff. This is just on my way home from school back when I was in third and fourth grade. I spent a lot of time here. Up next, this is where the school was. There are houses now where the field next to the school used to be, and the school is used has been repurposed actually for I think young kids and stuff. But yeah. So the next day, we decided to drive to the next town over to go to the Buffalo Bill Historical Museum. I used to go there all the time as a kid. Used to do a lot of things here when I was a kid. But here will be, it's about a 30-minute drive past one of the main mountains, Heart Mountain. You drive through a little town called Ralston. And there's not a whole lot to see, but, it's beautiful. The Buffalo Bill Historical Center has been there for quite a few years and has been remodeled, I want to say, multiple times. And boy, does it look nice now. There's a place right there that we would later eat. Service was okay. Coming up here on the outside of the Buffalo Bill Historical Museum, it's pretty nice on the outside. It's always looked the same, but on the inside is where it's really, really shines. We got some bison here. The displays are, very well put together. A lot of fantastic art. I'm a big art fan. Don't own a lot of modern art or old art, but I do appreciate it quite a bit. Yeah, I just wanted to examine a lot of the paintings and all the hand-done stuff. These must be worth a fortune, Up next here we have the tent where Buffalo Bill would set up shop when he was doing, I guess, shows or out and about. When he wasn't at home, there's a nice big mural depicting ye olden times. And then the next section here was probably my favorite section. This was the firearms. They had hundreds and hundreds of different firearms. Rifles, pistols, shotguns, automatics, Russian guns, German guns, all kinds of just different stuff from all over the world. It's probably one of the coolest modern firearm displays out there. And I guess I say modern, but like they're modern meaning like 200 years ago when guns were or 300 years ago. But like, there's even like sporting rifles for marksman events. There's bullets, all the bullet casings, different sizes. They even have a ballistics, like science section where you can look at casings and grooves and stuff. Up next here, we got a little something special. This is the shooting gallery. I'll let you just kind of watch this, but I'm not the best marksman, but this was a really fun game that they managed to put in. Target up there. You're out of ammo. Interesting. And here you can see my sister taking a crack at it here. And my mom's trying to direct her how to shoot even a toy firearm, because despite being military family, our parents did not teach us anything about guns. Strange, right?
Hold back hard. There you go. Now, bring it back down, the lever. All the way. Now, bring it back. There you go. You have to aim. The target. Any of the little dots.
So then we took a walk through the machining area where they used to, craft all the metals for guns and other heavy machinery for everyday life back in the day. And lastly was the Native American section, where a lot of history for the area really is, because these were the indigenous peoples, And they have a lot of good, I hate to say memorabilia, but, historical pieces of clothing and weapons. They even have a theater with a full screen where they tell stories and do little live talk through events. It's pretty stellar, not gonna lie. They did have a live animal show, but we weren't able to stay around for that. And then, we just, ended up walking around town and having lunch at that place like I discussed, and that was pretty much our trip. For that day, anyway. Alrighty, now here's the big one. Here's the big day. This was when we went to go visit Yellowstone. This is the drive-in here. We came in the east entrance from, the town where the Buffalo Bill Historical Museum is, Cody. And they have all these sections of mountain just, hollowed out. tunnels. It's really cool. I love this kind of stuff. It's the kind of stuff that used to get me really excited as a kid, was driving through tunnels and honking your horn and stuff. Still a child deep down. But yeah, here's a map of the park. We ended up coming in the east entrance there and circling in a clockwise direction. Those two spots up top, they were actually closed off for either construction or animal movement or herding. I'm not sure, but we weren't able to go that way. We had to come down back through the valley, which was fine. There's no part of this drive that is not beautiful. It's quite a sight to behold. I try to visit every 10 years or so. This is the third time I've been to Yellowstone, and it was just as beautiful as the other times I remembered. Yep. This is not, I don't believe it's called Yellowstone Lake. It might, but this is off of the southeastern part of the park as we're coming down to some hot springs here. Yeah.
Have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. If you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging or painful, it's just a reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. Because you're worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
So moving on from the hot springs, we did make it just in time for Old Faithful to blow up. Pretty cool event. Tried to get as best a picture as I could with all these people with their kids on their shoulders. Yeah, we got there about 15 minutes right before it exploded, and it only goes off every hour and a half to 2 hours now. It used to be, when I was a kid, it was about every 30 minutes to an hour, but it's crazy how just as time goes for the rest of us, the Earth changes its patterns as well. I don't know whether there's something more to that with, global warming or whatnot, but you never know. I doubt it, but you never know. So coming up here on the northeast part of the park was the Upper Falls here. Really, really cool area. And then you actually have to take a little hike to, I guess we could have drove, but we had been driving all day at that point to get around the park. So we just wanted to do some walking and to get to the next area where you can actually see the falls really up close, which was probably my favorite part. I just love stuff like this. Yeah, we were slowly getting closer and closer. And thankfully we got a beautiful day to be there. It was a little cool early on. It was about maybe 40 degrees when we got there, but as the day went on, it went up to about 70-ish. It was just couldn't ask for a better day. But yeah, that was the falls, and then on the way out, we did actually manage to see some bison in the valley on the way out. But yeah, that was Yellowstone. Beautiful. I'd do it again. And then our last day, we decided to drive northeast of town where we're staying with my grandma to visit the Bighorn Mountains. And that was something I'd never seen before. Really, really difficult to get to in a SUV. We probably should have taken a truck, but it was a little perilous getting up there, kind of scary. I didn't want to record too much because I wanted the driver to focus on driving, but pretty cool to get up there. It was probably about maybe a couple hundred feet up in the air, like definitely hundreds, but once you get up there, it was just like your typical campground. There was no one there, like absolutely nobody. There was even a traveler's, not center, but like a little booth where one of the locals had actually written "Go home," like "Go home, visitors."